from inside Representative Don Young's office. He's the Republican representative from Alaska. He's the guy that lobbied for the bridge to nowhere. And he is famous for pork barrel politics, brings home the pork, and his ties with lobbyists doesn't even really hide it too much. Well, this internal memo written up by interns at some point says that a certain group of 18 lobbyists have complete and utter access to his office. If people call for staffers or for Don Young, they got to jump through a couple of hoops. But if it's these lobbyists, then you connect them right away. And they were given a list. The interns are given a list. If these lobbyists call, they get whatever they want. Okay? Don Young's office, like, well, I wouldn't quite put it that way. I mean, we cooperate sometimes on certain bills, and that makes sense, but I don't know about an A-team. I don't know about how they have complete access to the office. It was just some interns writing it up. Right. And by the way, the interns don't have any bad intent. They say they really enjoy, in another part of the memo, they say they really enjoy working for the congressman, and they say it's, this is the best office on the Hill, remember that, etc., right? But you're wondering, where's the funny part? That seems kind of like seedy and not wholesome, but I'm not seeing the funny part yet. Well, the interns were also given guides as to how to act around Don Young and his wife. First off, Don Young doesn't like facial piercings. So none of that. Get that out of your face. Second of all, he doesn't like interns that stand around with their hands in their pockets. Get your hands out of your pockets. Let's go. Which, by the way, is so old school. I love it. I mean, who cares where your hands are? I wouldn't even notice on a bet if you told me where are the hands of the people working in the office. Then what the hell do I got to do with their hands? But in the old days, people were like, oh, that's rude to have your hands in your pockets. Anyway, all this is still not that big a deal. Here's one more funny thing about Don Young. He demands that the interns open doors for him as soon as he gets there. And if they don't open the door for him, he gets pissed. You know what that tells me? That tells me Don Young's a bad guy. I mean, we have interns here. Abby's technically an intern, I suppose, at this point. Imagine if we handed Abby a memo that said, hey, whenever Cenk comes, open the door for him right away. Cenk doesn't like it if you just stand around and you're not opening doors for him. You know what that would make Cenk? That would make Cenk an asshole. Okay? And that's what it makes Don Young. I know he's a congressman and I'm not, so I guess he's supposed to be more important. But you know what? Congressmen can open fucking doors. Open the door. Anyway, here's more funny parts about his wife. Apparently he loves his wife, to his credit, and infatuated with her, which is great after all these years of marriage. And he tries to name bills after her. They call her Lou, L-U, as her nickname, so he tries to put Lou at the end of all the bills. Okay, you can take that both ways. I think that's very silly, but there's something cute about that. Something schmoopy about that. Now, about his wife and how the staff should react to it, here's a quote from the... First of all, they say she has good days and bad days. She insists on a clean kitchen, dislikes computer noise and cologne, and gets annoyed when her advice goes unheeded. So no cologne, no computer noise. But here's my favorite part. The memo warns, eat what she tells you to eat. Her orders are often disguised as offers, suggestions, or invitations. They are not. Do them. If she tells you to eat something, eat it. You see, that's what I'm talking about when I say about power corrupting. Why do you have to have the people around you eating what you tell them to? Are you mental? I don't give a damn what anybody eats around me. That's their business. Well, you can't open a door and you've got to sit there and say, okay, now you all eat what I eat. Or what I tell you to eat. You know who acts like that? Kings and queens. And that's what these politicians think they are. That they're the kings and queens of America. And anytime I see a story like this, I want to prove it otherwise to them. I want to show them the door and say, open it yourself, motherfucker.